rhythm is love, baby. Rhythm is love.
Hi everybody, how you doing? Thank you for buying this guitar. This is a unique situation right here because for the first time we have a guitar that's very beautiful and very acoustic and very electric all at the same time. It's very necessary. A lot of people ask me why I chose to play in this kind of way and why with this kind of type of guitar. Well, I'm an unorthodox player, and I think there's a lot of people out there who are also playing in an unorthodox fashion. That's why we made this guitar for you, so that you don't have to feel as if, you know, you have to be like everybody else, you know what I mean? You can play in your own style, but we got you a guitar that's going to help you do that. And the easiest way to do that is to use nylon string, because when you're starting to play, nylon string is the easiest sound to start with. But what we did, we took the nylon string and put it onto a solid body guitar body with a thin neck, so it's very fluid and very easy, and we can plug it into an amplifier. Because the only problem with nylon string is that sound fidelity by itself is not enough. Because I imagine at some point you want to play with your friends, you want to get up on stage, you want to make some noise, right? So we can do that and plug it into an amplifier, which is even better. This story is coming from the way I started playing, which is basically I used to play on the streets of London and on the streets of Paris. When I was on the street, I had to make a lot of noise. So I used to play a Spanish guitar, but I need to make more noise. And that's how we came to this story with lag guitars, because they were able to help me realize this vision of making an acoustic sounding guitar sounding as loud and as powerful as an electric guitar. So I'm saying that I think that you're probably quite an unorthodox individual yourself. That's why you probably bought this guitar. So therefore, I started working with lag to come up with a guitar that's going to fulfill our needs. You know what I mean? We're not the typical guitar players, you know. Maybe you're looking for another alternative way to approach the guitar. This is the guitar that's going to explain and help you to come to another understanding of guitar. The most basic thing we did was to make it beautiful, which I think is very important. Not to say the image is all important, but this is quite important to have a very beautiful object in your hands. Secondly, it's got to feel good. We use a neck that's very slim. We don't normally find that with a nylon string. Nylon string necks are usually very thick because they're classical players. But what we did was we found a way to put nylon string on a very slim neck, so you can get the feeling of playing electric guitar, but we get nylon guitar sound. Thirdly, we arranged a few things here so that for the way you play, everything is put out of the way in terms of the volume, the preset sounds, and the bass, and the treble. So you're free here to play as wildly and as violently as you want, with or without a pick. Nothing's going to come in your way. Normally guitars, they have something here that's going to block the way you strum or the way you play. So here we made it simple so you can play fluidly and easily. What we also did was, I think this is quite useful. You might find it useful as well. On the 6th fret, I put what I call an axis. And if you're self-taught, it means that you don't exactly know everything. Okay, I admit I don't know everything. So basically, it means that you need a reference point on the neck of the guitar so you can find where you are without thinking E flat or G sharp or E minor, without thinking in terms of concepts. You can just look at this object here, which is just a little cross. It's an axis point. It gives you a reference point when you're moving up and down the guitar without knowing where you are. You can always come back, yeah? It's quite useful. What else? I did a little bit of drawing on it, because you can also, look, I've already added some marks here. This guitar is designed to be adapted to you. So basically, I add all these marks depending on which settings you use. So now I'm going to explain the actual electronics of the guitar. Like I said before, my style is quite rough, you know, it's quite intense, and I demand a lot of fidelity from the guitar, which means that we had to build it very strong. That's why it's called the rugged one. It's very strong. You can treat it any way you want, and you still get the sound you need. What we also did was make some preset sounds, okay? After all 15, 20 or more years of me playing and finding out the best sound between the amp, the guitar, and my pedals, what I did, I just condensed everything into sounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What we start off with is just a flat sound, and it bypasses all the electronics in the guitar. This is flat. flat. So basically you can add on to this, if you're going to use pedals, you can add on to the sounds you need. But it bypasses the electronics. Sound number 2 is for if you want to play quite sort of percussive sounding things. For example, I do things like this for this sound. So you can see I'm playing right up by the bridge. This sound is quite good for that, but at the same time you can get a really nice clean top notes as well. So you've got bass and treble going on at the same time, which is quite hard to do with a normal guitar. That's the kind of sound I would use for that, but I think that depending on how you play, think about it as trying to get a really strong bass and a strong treble at the same time. That's what that sound does. The third sound is what I would probably use for something like picking. You know, if you're into picking sounds, like picking sounds like maybe something like this. So anything like that which requires you to make some very precise that sound is quite nice because it's clean, you know what I mean? But it's also bassy at the same time. That's what I'd use for that. So the fourth sound is if you really want to make some noise, I imagine, and you're on stage, you know, with your band, you know what I mean, and you need to compete with the other sounds that are going on stage, like bass and drums. This is what I would use. This is the sound I would use for that. So we were at number 4, and that's the one where you want to compete on stage, loud sounds. For that, I use my thumb. You know, I've been explaining to you the different parts of my hand that I use. We had the bass, the hand bass. We had the picking thing, and now at the time I use my thumb. If you want to get volume, I just hit it hard. That's what you want to get volume and if you're loud on stage with your friends. That's the fourth sound. And the fifth sound is basically, you know, I imagine you might play some funk, you know what I mean, someday. I hope you play some funk, because like this is basically what it's about. With funk, you need to have the same thing, like high fidelity and bass at the same time, but without it being distorted. And that's what this sound does. You see the same thing there, where I'm basically trying to find bass and treble at the same time, but this time by funk, not by picking. And that's where this sound is quite important, because it's thick, but it's also light. Like funk meaning strumming, meaning you want to hear bass and treble. Or you just want to hear choppy things. These are options, these are choices, because you don't necessarily have to follow any of my advice. I mean, but basically, I spend a lot of time with lag to come up with these sounds. So theoretically, you know, you should, but you don't have to, okay? But if you did, I'd make you very happy, because we spend a lot of time finding out the best frequencies for the best styles of playing. I don't use a pick, maybe you use a pick. So theoretically, you could find your own sounds with your pick or with the way you play. But this guitar is basically versatile, and it's strong enough for you to treat it and bend it to your shape and to your will the way you want to play it. This guitar is not designed for these other people, it's designed for us. Either you taught yourself like I did, or you were thinking and looking to another way of approaching the guitar. That's what this is for. Therefore, feel free to add your own designs, feel free to, you know, we have exactly everything here, bass, treble, all the preset sounds and volume. So with that and your amp, you know, you're good. So I want to say thank you for listening. I want to say thank you for buying this guitar. I hope you have many, many hours of enjoyment. I hope it gives you all the things you need. I hope it opens up new avenues of approaching sound for you and to you. I've tried to explain a few of the things and how I came to the guitar, but I'm me and you're you, and I hope you will find your way and make your sounds out of this particular instrument, because it's designed for you to use and to create your own sound out of. Lots of enjoyment, and like, you know, you can make a lot of noise and you can make it very quiet. It can be acoustic, you can be funk, you can be blues, you can be jazz, you can be rock, but all with a beautiful sound and all with a beautiful guitar. I want to say thank you very much. Peace.
Rhythm is love, baby.
So I'm going to explain to you a song that's actually been one of my favorite songs for a very long time, and a lot of people seem to like it. It's called Rhythm is Love, and this is a very, very simple song. It's basically 2 chords, maybe 4 chords, and it's done like a sort of a Latin style, but using your thumb instead of you know, a plectrum. And it's very, very simple. It's 2 chords. So you don't ask me what chords they are, but basically I know they're there, and I know it's there in relation to my axis point. It's quite useful. So basically, if you want to play in Latin style, just do like this. I mean, that's a Latin beat, right? It's a drum beat. Put some sound on the drum beat. So I'll do that really slowly, right? I'm going to put some sounds. So literally, with all my music, it starts from the rhythm. And when you take a rhythm, if you hear rhythm, play the rhythm, just rhythm on the guitar, and then add the sound wherever you want in the rhythm. Give me a rhythm, any rhythm. Anything. I don't know. Boom, cat, boom, cat, boom, cat, boom, bat. Any rhythm you want. You know, you can take any rhythm. If you want to play blue funk, the whole point of showing you this DVD is to tell you that all those books, all those theories, all those concepts and ideas that are trying to make you feel like you don't know anything or you need to learn, it's rubbish. I don't mean rubbish, I just mean like, it's not necessary. If you simplify everything, music is very, very simple. And that's why we made this guitar, to make it even easier. Because I found my way through without going through the normal channels. And it just opens up a whole new world. I mean, you can make music out of anything. Like I just showed you a rhythm, sing any rhythm, put your sound wherever you want to put it, you got a song, you know what I mean? Change the chords up or down. As long as you got your access point, you know where you are on the guitar, you don't have to say it's E flat or G sharp or nothing. So basically that's what I'm saying, and it's all about the rhythm. And I think this guitar is going to help you play rhythmically because we've tuned it in such a way that we can hear your rhythm, whatever you do. We've given you all these different options so you can use this guitar in your way, like I found my way through it. Be creative and find your way through it and make music without any rules or laws. Make beautiful sounds, you know, there are no rules. And this guitar is going to help you get to that place.